If you ask any Belizean who adds life to Belize by making us all laugh, they'd probably say Edison Seferino Coleman. This outstanding Belizean was profiled by Steve Lovell.
Let me say buenos dias, good morning, buiti binafi, ciao shang, shalom, guten morgen, un buon mattino. May today be the most wonderful, the most beautiful day for you and yours.
A familiar opener that has been acute to many Belizeans that their favorite comedian and radio announcer is on the air once again. Mornings are brightened, and frowns and worried faces turn into smiles on hearing the spirit and vivaciousness in his voice every weekday morning on Radio Belize. Born Denberg Edison Clifford Coleman on the 8th January 1931 to Denberg and Rosa Coleman in Benque Viejo del Carmen, he is better known to Belizeans as Seferino. Seferino attended St. Joseph's School in Benque Viejo, and there were good times growing up with his brothers and sisters. He attended St. John's College in Belize City. In school he had many interests. One of them is football.
Yes, I love sports very much, but sports didn't love me at all. Steve, I used to love football a lot, but I was always running off the field.
Football might not have liked Seferino, but comedy certainly did. His interest in it goes way back.
I began doing programs, comedy programs in Spanish. And Mr. Rudy Castillo and Mr. Ayuso and then Georgia McKeesey had begun to work with us, and he introduced me. I can remember there was a show at the Bliss Institute with Jesus Acosta and the Professionals, and I was all nervous. I said, well, I got to do some comedy, and they really pushed me. I didn't know, I really didn't know, you know. I would get in front of a crowd and I would begin to say something, and all of a sudden, you know, people would begin to laugh. That's how I began to develop what I consider now is a very special gift.
His choice of becoming a broadcaster came when Seferino applied for a job as a Spanish announcer.
I told them I was bilingual, so they invited me for an interview. It was then Commander Proud who was in charge of the radio station, and they gave me a bulletin in English and a bulletin in Spanish. When he heard the English, he was very, very, very disturbed. My English was awful, was terrible. It was, you know, this is BHBS, British Honduras Broadcasting Service. And he was an Australian. He was so smooth, and he talked, you know, the Queen's English. And he said his English was completely offended when I went into my American twang. But the Spanish was so good that he hired me immediately.
Those were great times for Seferino. He loved his job, and he started building up a group of admiring audiences that last even today. Hard work and dedication helped.
We looked forward to doing as much as was possible. We didn't really limit ourselves to just one thing. We wanted to MC, we wanted to meet people, we met a lot of people, we wanted to do programs, we wanted to be everywhere.
Edison Seferino Coleman's work in comedy and in show business in Belize has taken him places. He has traveled extensively, performing in the United States, England, Germany, and other European countries. His ability to make people laugh can be attributed to many elements. One of these is making an impact with memorable costumes. Once on stage, Seferino seems to be totally in control of the character he is portraying, every step of the way. One of his most memorable characters was as a baby.
It took me about 6 months before I was able to get into character of this little baby, but it was a lot of fun. It was one of the most remarkable things I've ever done, because I really went into it. And you know, there's nothing like watching the crowd, looking at the crowd. They were really enjoying, you know, Edison Coleman as a little baby. And Edison Coleman was really enjoying himself, you know, like a little baby. And I did that here in Belize, and I also did it in the States, in Los Angeles.
As well as other characters.
A caveman, you know, and I've dressed like a caveman. I've played the part of a policeman, and I've done it as close as I can. Of course, getting into character is something that comes sort of natural to me. But you have to think like a policeman. You have to think like a caveman. You have to think like a boatman. You have to think like, you know, whatever.
The roles you're playing.
The role you're playing.
Seferino is a master at what he does. He holds the attention of his audience when he is on stage, as well as when he's on the air. It may seem easy. However, even today, he still gets nervous.
When I come to work early in the mornings, I'm still nervous. Just the beginning. After that, well, I sort of relax and I'm at home.
He most enjoys the people he amuses.
I've always tried to make people happy. And I feel that if I am always happy, people will follow suit. They'll always say, well, you know, hey, you know, if he can do it, I can do it.
Seferino's work this far has not gone unnoticed. He has received a number of citations and awards from several institutions. These include from Belfast, from Radio Belize, as well as from the city of Los Angeles. Probably the most impressive of these is the LVO award he received from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on her state visit to Belize. Maybe the Queen sent it to the Governor General. No. You were actually given this by the Queen.
Oh yes. And I was so surprised. I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do, you know. And you know, royalty, they stretch their hands before you, and then you follow. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I just looked and I said, thank you.
The awards and recognition Edison Seferino Coleman has received underscores the legacy and contribution this individual has made to broadcasting and show business in Belize. The richness of life around him are enhanced by sharing them with his wife Carmen Coleman Aguayo and his son Gerard. All he has contributed and achieved can be appreciated even more today, since he's just recovering from being operated on to remove a benign cancer.
Just recently I had a very sad moment. I almost gone. But boy, I was so lucky. I went as far as the gate and they said, no, you go back.
Not ready for you.
Not ready for you.
His life is a symphony of stories and memories. Highlights of meeting important people is underscored by the sense of fulfillment he gets when he sees smiling faces of people before him. This he has experienced many times when playing Santa Claus in various community settings. His performances, as well as his achievements as an announcer, places him in the perfect position to give advice to budding broadcasters.
You got to work hard and do not refuse any opportunity to go out there and do whatever. If they want you to go out there to do an interview, go do the interview. If they want you to go and be master of ceremonies in a variety show, go and do it. Don't be afraid. Go and do it. That's the only way that you're going to make it. That's the only way that you're going to make it. Have a little taste of every little bitter thing in broadcasting, because not everything is sweet. But after a while, you get to sort of master the situation.
A hearty smile and a healthy joke are Seferino Coleman's trademarks. His contributions to Belize are many, and there is more to come. As long as there is breath in his body, it is almost certain that Edison Seferino Coleman will be there entertaining us.
To all of you throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful jewel of ours, we say once again, welcome.